Alrighty, everybody. Good morning in the YTPC. I like to go out and say congratulations to Quaker Piper on all of his subs, and I like to say thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And I also would like to say it is my honor and my pleasure to make this VR to Quaker Piper my first VR of 2019. And there was many galls going on, and I was trying to get in on all of them, but apparently by the time I realized it, they was already done and over with. And so it kind of, it was a downer for me, because I like to show my love and support to my fellow YTPC and everything. And I know here lately, a lot lately, I've kind of failed in that area, and I like to apologize to all the fans. I like to apologize to all my fellow YTPC, and I just hope that you understand. I had been going through some things physically, mentally, and knowing that I've been going to a gym and trying to slim down and everything. And if you want to know more about that stuff, just check out my other videos. Anyways, this is a VR to Quaker Piper, and he wanted to know about our pipe that has flaws in it, and to point out the flaws in it, and still talk about how it is still a good pipe. Well, y'all know I had bought a few new pipes. One of those few new pipes is which was one of the pipes I was extremely excited about, extremely couldn't wait to get here and everything. And it was beautiful. I think it's the most beautifulest pipe I have ever owned in my life, that I've ever been able to afford to buy myself. And I started noticing these things, and I kind of pointed it out a little bit in my video that I had when I was, taking it on its maiden voyage of its first smoke and everything. But I think it came in the nick of time so that I could do this VR and everything. So without further ado, I like to talk about and show you my BC pipe. And I'm not too sure what BC really is, and I ain't gonna pretend like I know, because, well, I don't. And I can't even remember what it said on the box, to be quite honest with you, without the box, looking at the box. But I didn't stop to think to grab the box, else I would have. But sometimes I just don't plan things out quite so well, or I get a million ideas running through my head, and I tend to forget. But anyways, there was this pipe right here, and if you look carefully, in two spots, well, actually, come to think of it, three spots now that I've noticed. It's amazing what you notice when you're actually trying to find flaws. Right there on the rim, I don't know if you can tell it or if the lighting will let you see, but right there, kind of bubbled up right there, and right there on this part of the rim. And then also, if you look real carefully, I'll try to position this in a way, hopefully you can see it. You'll see like there's a little nick up in here in the corner somewhere. And also on the back here, right in the finish, just right above my fingernail, if you look real carefully, you will see a scratch mark in the finish. Now that could have been a tool mark that just wasn't looked through or looked for. But move my finger down, see if you can see it. Somewhere right in the center where my fingernail is, or the top of my finger there, and the finish. But I noticed those things, and I thought to myself, for a pipe that's, of course, it was on sale though too, and everything. But I was sitting there thinking maybe that's why this pipe was put on sale and everything, because I've seen pipes like this, and I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but most generally, pipes like this run anywhere between $100 and some dollars all the way up to $200 to $300 and up. And I feel blessed and lucky to have been able to purchase this pipe. And what drew me to this pipe because I like the bamboo, and I've also liked the olive wood ones too that look like bamboo, but this is actually a bamboo, and I like how you run your finger across where it attaches to the briar part of the shank, and then attaches to the bamboo part of the shank. You can't feel a crease line there for nothing, and I like that smoothness of it, and I also like the way it sits in my mouth whenever I'm clenching it, and it smokes great. It's a real good smoker. And even though it wasn't pre-carved, but it kind of carved up pretty good. I don't know if you can see it or not. Now inside this bowl too, before I smoked out of it. Now you can't tell it now, but if you go and you look back on the video of where I first, showed this off, um, you'll see like where it was like right here on the inside of the bowl. Now I don't know if that was just part of the briar or if it was a tool mark that was left that wasn't caught, or if maybe the bit that bore the bowl was spinning so fast that maybe it kind of got a little hot and burnt just a little bit, or turned the color of the briar. But it kind of looked like, because the way it looked like to me is when it was being bored, it got just a little bit too hot when it was being bored, and the little heat just kind of changed the color on the inside of the bowl, because that's what I thought it was already pre-carved. And then before I smoked it, I got to examine it, and everything, because I know sometimes, you need to examine your pipes before you smoke them and everything. I kind of feel to do that because I just get so excited. But I was trying to be sure that that wasn't going to be a burnout spot and everything, because even if it was a burnout spot or a possible burnout spot, I still wouldn't have been disappointed. I just would have never smoked from it, and I would have just put it up as a display pipe, being the first display pipe I'd ever bought. But I went ahead and I felt around in there and everything, and it was still pretty smoothed out, despite a few little tool marks that you could feel and everything. And you could tell that the manufacturer, tried to smooth them out the best they could without ruining the bowl. And it smokes good, it smoked even, and all around it's a good little pipe. And with given its few small flaws, I love it. It's I'd have to say, aside from my London, England pipe that I got from the Bremen Pipe Smoker, as which was my first briar, I'd have to say, as far as the pipes I bought myself and with my own hard-earned money, I'd have to say this is probably my new favorite pipe. And I think the only thing that would beat this is if I got a good deal on a Meerschaum. So this is my VR to the Quaker Piper. And I also like to say, to add, I up and also watched your newest video that you had out and posted today. I think it was posted today or sometime today. Um, about when he was talking about classical music and piano, and I'm not much for the romantic era of classical music. I don't know why it don't appeal to me, but I like a little bit of Chopin. I think that guy's pretty cool. And also, I've always found that Beethoven and Bach like spoke to me, and stood out to me, especially Beethoven, because whenever you examine, especially the life of Beethoven, he grew up poor. He was poor. He was probably the poorest. I mean, and of course, there's lots of composers out there, but this is the one I've researched the most. Is he was the poorest musician and composer you'd ever find, and then despite his hearing loss, he still continued to strive and thrive doing what his heart's passion was. And I feel like the only flaw in that guy's career ever was when he took a break from composing to try to fight a custody battle to get his nephew, as which pretty much almost turned tragic, you know. And I think the story on the end of his life, you know, they said, it said that there was a streak of lightning that reached across the sky, and they said before his last breath, they said he looked out the window and shook his fist in the air as if he was saying, "I still have more left." And I know that wasn't part of the VR, but I just wanted to know that kind of inspired me, today. And I don't know, filled me with great joy because while I was getting ready for work today and everything, and this is before I got a little time before work, it just inspired me to listen to Beethoven. And Bach, I like Bach because on account of one, his religious backgrounds, as well as, I can't remember what it's called, but he has a famous piano or organ um, piece that he wrote that's also played in a lot of classic horror films that have Vincent Price, Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, and Peter Cushing in it. And when I found out he's the one that done that piece, it just made me love Bach. Well, anyways, I also like to say thank you YTPC for hitting like, share, and subscribe. I like to say thank you, Quaker Piper, for this opportunity to do a VR, and thank you for all that you do. And those are some mighty fine chooch and tobaccos that you had put up. They looked real good. I'm kind of really interested in that last, I think it was the last twist you had. Hey, Steph, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. I'm just getting ready to sign off here. But thank you all, and wherever you're at in this world, may God bless. And I hope all my videos are a blessing to everybody. Oh, you too. You have a good one too, and everything. And I just like to say thank you. And wherever you're at in this world, till next time. And once again, thank you, Quaker Piper. You're the first VR I've done in 2019. Thank you all. And wherever you're at in this world, may you be blessed. And thank you. Well, I'm trying to sign off here and something got in my way. All right, till next time, everybody. Oh, and also thank you for the like.